Rick Borgon back with Bob Rempel live from Bob Van Diem Field in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. The final game of the Men's World Softball Championship, Team USA against New Zealand. New Zealand, Bob, has really fought back in this tournament to, force this deciding game this afternoon.
Showing a lot of intensity and desire, all those good things that make a great team. And as we see from our shot here of the center field, people trading, people still talking. Japan, the team, Canada. It's a great international tournament with all kinds of interesting aspects to it, not only just the softball on the field. But we certainly look forward to this final game. The more I see the New Zealand team. They're young, they're eager, they want to play, and so the other aspect of the game, the mental side. Yogi Berra once said, 90% of this game is mental and the other half is physical. But of course, in typical Yogi Berra fashion, he's talking about the mental side, and I think the team they're very well prepared. They're very determined to do well here, and they've got a lot of tradition to draw on, a lot of good experience from the '84 championship. A lot of the young fellows, and we see a kid like Mark Sorensen, the 20-year-old, come here and have a whale of a day. He's hit a home run again today, a couple others earlier, and that's the kind of leadership you need. You need some good offensive power. As we talked before about the Canadians, they didn't get it when they needed it. But if you don't get the pitching and the hitting coming together, and of course the good execution of the fundamentals, you're not going to do well. So I look forward to both teams pulling out all the stops here. This is a winner take all, and as you say, we can use every cliche that's in the book.
All right, we're going to go downstairs once again to Steve Legault and Harvey Nelson of Labatt.
Thanks, Rick. Harv Nelson joins me from Labatt's down on the field level. Quite a sponsorship from Labatt's. A big tournament, probably the biggest one ever in ISF history.
There's no question from our perspective. Anyway, this all started a few years back when we all went down to Colorado Springs to get the bid. It's really nice to see something to come to fruition like this. It's been a wonderful 10 days. We had a few days of rain there, but it didn't seem to dampen the spirits of anyone here, and I got to think that this is one of the biggest in the history of the ISF.
Got to be an awful lot involved for Labatt's in their sponsorship. What are some of the things you have to look after, Harv?
Well, my job, particularly with this committee, was director of media for the ISF. And that was just a sort of real coordination. The Saskatoon and Saskatchewan media have been outstanding on this championship, and we really extend our credit and thanks to them.
We've seen a lot of good ball in this tournament. Obviously, Team Canada has fallen out. Now it's got to hurt a little bit to have the home team gone.
Well, it's all tough. It hurts the pride a little bit. We really thought that Canada, with the home field advantage and the fan support, and that would be really the team to beat. But they came up flat last night against New Zealand, and then today they played well against New Zealand, but New Zealand's got a very good ball club. The United States are a tough team, and I think you've got the two best teams in the championship, and there wouldn't be too many people in this audience that wouldn't agree with that.
Well, a pretty tough one to predict who's going to win this championship. Both excellent ball clubs. The United States, of course, against New Zealand, and hey, flip a coin. That's just about all you can do. We have some starting lineups to go over now, though, and there are not too many changes. First off, the United States, and some key players there, and the changes, Bob.
Well, it looks to me just some movement in the batting order. Rick Minton moved down. Boer still batting ninth. Rothrock, of course, number 4. Beard right behind him, number 5. Boyer leading off. And but as we said before, he's not going to play the outfield. He's going to be the DH. Peter Meredith, the starting pitcher, as we have been talking about before.
All right, let's take a look now at the starting lineup for the New Zealanders.
Eddie Colassi is going to be the second baseman, important, being a leadoff batter. Sorensen, everybody's going to be watching Mark, see if he continues his home run streak today. Thomas Perenera is going to be the designated hitter, a new player that hasn't played at all today, in fact. And so we see Steve Jackson, as we talked about. It was likely that Steve was going to start. It was his turn, and he indeed will get the call.
Well, Thomas Perenera back in the lineup as the DH. He pulled a muscle in his left arm a couple of days ago. Remember when he went out to taking the routine fly ball, and Wall came in and then smacked out that grand slam home run and won the contest, of course, for the New Zealanders. But Perenera back in the lineup as the designated hitter. We're all set to go. Game number 2, sudden death. The winner of this will take home the gold medal. The loser, the silver. Canada has already won the bronze. The first batter for New Zealand, top half of the first inning, Eddie Colassi. Meredith's first pitch, ball. One ball, no strikes. Game number 2 of the final. Here's a ball that could be tough. Yes, base hit. Steve Carrion had trouble with that one. Made the catch but couldn't turn and make the play. On first base for New Zealand, Eddie Kalesi.
Well, they'll be very happy to get that kind of a start. Kalasi put that ball right in the proper place between the third and shortstop, and with his speed, he has no trouble getting on. In fact, Carrion didn't even make the throw. And I should add, catching for the United States team, when we talked about the lineup, a new Zediker is going to catch. Steve Zediker, the 40-year-old that plays with Pencor normally out of Sioux City, Iowa.
Zediker in for DeFazio. The batter, Kerry Johansson, wanted to bunt. That first pitch left it go for a ball. It's 1-0. That caught the outside corner. Strike one. Johansson looking down to third to catch the signs, see whether or not he'll attempt another bunt. Kalesi at first, or Kalesi at first. Johansson squares to bunt. There it is, down to third. They go over to second. Get Kalesi at second on the force. Good play by the third baseman, Jeff Bohr. One down.
Well, it shows us, as we remember, the third baseman Bohr picked that up. It just shows how important it is to place the bunt in the right position. He got out there very quickly and went to the third baseman, and he had no trouble wheeling and throwing to second and getting the force out. So it was executed defensively very well by the United States team.
One of the New Zealanders' best hitters, Mark Sorensen, at the plate now. Johansson at first. Meredith set for the pitch. That one's low and inside, ball one. Meredith has a lot of speed. Whether or not he can control it as well as he wants to.
Well, he's not as wild as Steve Schultz might be, or even Dave Scott. We only saw him give up a couple of hits, and without having the sheet in front of me, I believe only a couple of walks against the Canadians the other night. He's certainly a power pitcher, relies primarily on his rise ball. You'll see him come hard with a high rise ball.
New Zealanders, of course, forcing the second and deciding game with a 4-2 victory. Game one of the AB final. Here's Meredith's pitch. Low and ball one. Ball two, pardon me, on Sorensen. It's 2-0. Check down at first. See Johansson. Meredith, a low tournament ERA. Got him swinging there. Attempts steal. Ball goes into the outfield center field, but covering up nicely was Bill Boyer. Stolen base for Johansson.
We're going to see that again. I'm not sure what happened here. Some out call, and I'm trying to determine what.
Well, I think they called out Johansson because he led off.
Oh, that's right. And it's a good time for me to remind our viewers, some who may not have watched a lot of softball, that you can't leave until the pitch leaves the pitcher's hand. So they work very hard to get the jump, though, off the base, and in this case, the umpire was watching and caught him.
Well, Kerry Johansson down there in a lot of time, but probably because he let off a little early. So we've got two out now. Sorensen at the plate.
Watch him as he leads off. You can see him gone.
Yeah, long before it left the hand. Here's a base hit. Could be extra bases down the left field line. Into second is Sorensen as his hot bat continues. A double. So that leadoff out sure hurt New Zealand, as Johansson might have been able to score from first. Might have been able to.
Well, it's quite possible. Certainly, it was down the left field line. He may have been held to three by the coach there, but Walsh. But even so, little things like that will always come back to haunt you, it seems, and hurt you. But Here we got Sorensen again, keeping up his hot day. And he's a great player. In fact, we may be talking about him in terms of one of the top few in the world. There's no doubt about that. The Blue Jays think I have a lot of them, obviously.
Swing and a miss on Nichols, strike one. Sorensen could end up winning the most valuable player award at this tournament as well.
Funny you should mention that, because that certainly is a prestigious honor, an important honor at the end of the championship, in addition to the medals that all the players receive. And it's time we start thinking about who should be getting that.
This one fouled and out of play.
Now, I don't know if they're going to ask us, but it won't hurt for us to.
Probably not.
The viewers and us to sort of speculate on who should win it.
Well, Sorensen has to be a leading candidate.
Absolutely.
Eddie Kalesi, another one.
And even if they don't win the game, you know, just the fact that they're here and they'll give it to one of the New Zealand players, because they've fought so hard to get into this final game.
Caught him looking. Strike three. Just some of the close to 10,000 fans on hand for the ISF World Men's Softball Championship. Final game here. United States and New Zealand. Nothing across for New Zealand in the top half of the first inning. The United States coming to bat in the bottom of the first.
Battery again for New Zealand on the mound. Steve Jackson behind the plate. Mark Sorensen.
Oh, we see Steve Jackson. Steve's the winning pitcher from 1984, and I think Mike Walsh hopes that the kind of effort Steve showed there, the kind of big game he had for them, will continue. Steve is known for his ability to come up tough in big contests like this, and they're hoping to get that out of Steve today.
First batter for the United States, Bill Boyer. That pitch was high and caught the umpire.
Get another first pitch from Steve. Right off the glove and
caught his head, I believe.
Looks like a fellow, one of the Canadian umpires, Brian Van Oss from the Vancouver area, I believe.
So the count 1-0 to Boyer. Ooh, that caught him, I believe.
Another one of those inside pitches meant to move the batter off the plate. A little more inside than it needed to be.
Might have just tipped the helmet, I guess. 2 balls, no strikes. Steve Jackson on the mound.
Oh, sorry, Rick, but if Steve was trying to set him up, watch him to go outside and low, perhaps here. Now, if he'd thrown it for a strike, it would have been more effective, but that was the purpose, obviously.
There's a strike. Count goes to 3-1. Bill Boyer at the plate. That one's high. Ball 4. So not a great way for Steve Jackson to start things out here, as he walks the leadoff hitter. You see the frustration on his face.
Steve apparently pitched his club team in New Zealand to their national championship just a few months ago. They came back from the B side, so he's having a very successful year. Getting the call in the final game is quite an honor.
Drop ball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Runner Boyer at first, and the batter Mitch Munthey. Bunt could be on here. Low and outside, ball 1.
We might see some kind of variation off the sacrifice. Munthey's too valuable to give up, and we see it here.
Over to short. No play at second, no play at first. Kerry Johansson came up with the ball but had no play whatsoever. The hit and run was on. And both runners getting down there quickly, so the United States has 2 men on.
Let's look at that. We see we're talking about a variation. See what he does. He runs up on it and then just kind of slap hits at it. And he puts it in the right spot entirely. I mean, you couldn't ask for a more perfectly placed slap hit like that. Deep in the hole to short, and he couldn't get anybody either at first or second.
So 2 on with none out, bottom of the first. United States threatening here. Whoever wins this one wins the gold medal. Loser will take home the silver. Canada has wrapped up the bronze. Jim Clark is the batter. The DH in the first game of this AB final. He's playing left field in this contest. Another bunt towards second. Bases loaded. No play for Eddie Kalesi. United States playing this inning smart, aren't they, Bob?
Talk about some creative offense. I like this very, very much. If you can put those bunts and slap hits in the right position, you can always make them work for you. Just look what Clark does here now. He gets a rise ball, and he just drags it down. Of course, they were expecting a bunt just in front of the catcher.
No play whatsoever for Kalesi that loads up the bases with none out.
I had a question about whether the runner Monthly interfered with the second base and Kalesi trying to make the play there. And of course, they've let him stay at second. It was a close call. It could have gone. Could have made the call on the interference, I think.
So Steve Jackson in trouble early. That pitch inside. Brian Rothrock, the designated hitter. Bases loaded, none out. Here's a guy that can do it. Caught the outside corner for strike one. This is the guy you want up with the bases loaded, isn't it?
Certainly is. Batting very, very well with 8 home runs and over a .600 batting average throughout the tournament. Jackson comes in with a changeup there, but inside.
2-1 the count.
So important for the United States to get a run here. If they can get out of the, if the New Zealanders can get out of this inning somehow, it's going to be a great benefit and boost to them.
Chop to third, comes home to get the force at home, 1 away. So a good heads-up play by Jim Hall at third base.
You see that again. They're playing in. They knew the plate had to go to the plate. It's a forced play. My bases are loaded. And Boyer, well, he has no choice. He should be going with the hit. And of course, it's just a force out at home.
So the bases are still loaded for the first baseman, Bruce Beard. 1 away. Umpire calls time. Tough situation for New Zealand to be in. Bottom of the first inning, bases loaded and 1 out. Here's a fly to right. Should score 1. Wyatt has it. Here's the throw to home. Cut off. 1 run scores. In across the plate, Mitch Monthly. United States goes in front 1-0.
And not only that, we got 2 runners. Rothrock advanced. And Clark advanced. Clark's at third, Rothrock's at second. So still a chance to get a couple more runs for the United States team.
2 down now, though. Steve Carrion, the shortstop, the batter. The United States jumps in front early. They lead 1-0. Took something off that one. Ball 1. New Zealand won the opener 4-2 to force the sudden death game.
I was going to say Rick Carrion had a strikeout and 2 infield outs in the first game of this final game matchup. $3-0 would look a whole lot more exciting or appealing to the United States team than the 1-0 at this stage.
This one's popped up. Coming in for it, Fred Wyatt. He has it 3 out. Well, there you see the steady breeze we have here at Bob Van Im Field in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Top of the second inning. Pitch by Meredith is high. The count will go to 1-1. The batter, Murray Maclean. Once again playing first base for New Zealand in this contest, as he did in the opener. Drop ball. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. United States on top 1-0. They got 1 in the bottom of the first. High fly to right. Under it, Mitch Munthey, he'll make the catch. 1 away. Another 10 feet or so, that one might have made it out of here.
Munthey's smiling a little bit. That ball kept going back on him. Didn't seem to be going all that far. It was just going to be a lazy fly ball to right. And he keeps backing up and backing up. And of course, it's the wind that's doing it all here. Strong breeze blowing out to right field.
Batter now is Jim Hall. First pitch to him inside for ball 1. 1 away for the United States. We're in the top of the second. USA leads 1-0. 1-1.
Interesting to see Meredith using his lower pitches, drop balls and low fastballs a little more often here. Although
ground ball to third. Borer over to first to Beard. 2 down.
Let's see him make a easy pickup, or very sure-handed at third base. And Hall is out easily at first.
Number 23, Pete Meredith on the hill for the United States. He'll face Fred Wyatt now. Looking to make it 3 up, 3 down in the top of the second. He's retired the first 2 batters this inning. For the United States, it's their 3rd game of the day. For the New Zealanders, their 4th. Inside pitch for ball 1. Meredith gets set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Strike 1, pardon me. 1-1 the count. Caught him with rise ball there, strike 2.
We just saw his patented rise ball. And it comes in very, very hard. He's one of the fastest pitchers in fast pitch softball.
Pete Meredith beat the New Zealanders earlier today, 2-1.
That's right.
A lot of speed on that rise ball as well.
Our information on Peter Meredith is that he had 6 perfect games in 1987, and 2 of those he struck out 21 batters. He had a 48-7 record last year for his Transair team in Elkhart, Indiana. Struck out 857 batters. It just goes on and on. Some of these pitchers have statistically, talking about the perfect games, you know, 6 of them for in 1 year. Some baseball players never even get no-hitters as opposed to perfect games.
Struck him out. Welcome back to Bob Van Field. Rick Borgon along with Bob Rempel in the ISF World Men's Softball Championship. Here's the pop fly, deep fly ball I should say, to right. It's going, gone. A solo home run for the catcher, Steve Zedeker. Now, I'm sure the wind took that right at the last second. It looked as if it was going to be a high, short fly pop-up type, and the wind caught that one, Bob, and just sent it out over the right field fence.
Well, the first pitch hit for Zedeker. We'll see him hit the ball here. Gets it up just around the armpits, and Jackson's going to say, well, I couldn't have thrown it probably a whole lot better, but Zedeker obviously a good high ball hitter. And as you said, Rick, it just carried for him, so just over the fence in right field. So the U.S. team very, very happy. Get started now with another run.
Solo shot for Zedeker, 2-0 ball game. We're in the bottom of the second. They got one in the bottom of the first, another one here. New Zealand trying to defend the World Championship. USA, of course, looking to take that away. Rick Minton's the batter. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 2-1 the count. No, that wasn't a hard hit ball. Just got up high. The wind caught it. And a solo homer for Zedeker. That one's inside. 3-1 the count.
Zedeker is a member of the Penn Corps team out of Sioux City, Iowa, the runners-up to the Seattle team in the American Championship last year, a first-team All-American last year, 1987.
Swing and a miss, strike two. So the count is full. We're looking at 32 now. Right back to the pitcher, Jackson. To Maclean, one down. A lot of action in the New Zealand bullpen, Bob.
Yeah, both Michael White and Graham Robertson are throwing. Of course, Chubb Tangaroa is out there as well, but he's just protecting the fellow. He's throwing his game, and it's not likely we'll see him in this one. Although I wouldn't bet against that one either. You know, in softball, fast pitch softball, the underhanded motion the pitchers go through isn't as tiring as of course in baseball, and they can go 2-3 games a day if they have to.
I remember Michael White last year here at the ISC. I think he went 6 games in a row. Or was it 4 on the last day and 2 the night before or something?
I played with a fellow one year. We went to a tournament, and he ended up pitching 5 complete games that day. Senior A competition in Manitoba, and it can be done. And he had no ill effects from it either.
Another easy out. Jeff Borer, the third baseman, goes down there.
Let's see, Jackson picked this ball up. A little late reaction on Borer. He just not hitting all that well, and again we see one of the reasons why his timing is completely off. Well, to be fair to him, not completely, just somewhat. Yeah, and that is a major problem. If you're even slightly off, you have to have a perfectly timed swing to get a good hit or a hard hit ball on softball.
Here's a bunt by Boyer. He's in there, safe at first, no play for Jim Hall. So Boyer with 2 out, bunts himself down to first.
The right fielder, Mitch Muncy.
Boyer at first, Mitch Muncy at the plate.
Well, Boyer got on with a walk last time. He seems to be on base every time we look up. This time it's a bunt single. He can get on base a number of different ways. Against the Canadians, he led off with a hard, earlier on Thursday night, hard single up the middle.
We're talking MVP earlier. There's a candidate on the United States team.
Absolutely, he's done a lot of things for them.
And Monthly too, as he sends this one to deep center field, right over the STV truck out in center field. Just missing our center field camera, a home run. Now we got a call here, something's going on.
Major rhubarb.
Oh, we got something going on here on the field. They called him for a leadoff at first base, I believe, which was the third out, which means the home run will not count. Hopefully we can get a replay of that to see if Bill Boyer really did lead off at first. Oh, I don't believe it. The home run will not count.
Well, the only solace for the Americans are they're up 2-0 at this time. Imagine if they were down and this happened. Monty gets all of it right around his knees.
The runner at first called
Just the hardest hit, one of the hardest hit home runs here. But of course we got Boyer, who's always running very aggressively. Obviously took off with a pitch. It meant it was probably a hit and run play. And here he is. He says.
So the home run doesn't count. The score remains 2-0. The U.S. on top. You're watching the ISF on the Can West Softball Network.
Oh, it's true. That's why you call for it. That's why you call for the blue. Hey, hey, hey. That's why you call for the blue. Hey, hey, hey. That's why you call for the blue.
2-0 the score. The United States leading New Zealand, and we're going to go down to the field right now. Steve Legault has Bob Van Imp with him.
Thanks, Rick. Bob Van Imp joining me on field level. Bob, inducted into the Hall of Fame must be quite a thrill for you.
It is. I mean, I really appreciate that the people had the confidence and put me into this situation. I really enjoyed and appreciate what happened.
Must be also an honor to see this kind of ball being played at a field named after you.
That's right. I mean, that's another thing. And especially in Saskatoon, we've always been very up top in softball on that. We've been, as far as the national level, Saskatoon has always been a great softball.
Now, I know we've got a bunch of vocal Kiwis behind you, but you're taking the Americans, are you?
Yes, I think I've, other than the Canadians, I felt that the Americans were going to win this. They haven't done too well over the years, that with their club teams and that. And I had the distinct feeling after we beat them at the Pan Ams last year in Indianapolis, they were coming up here to win it. They've got their best ball players here, and I honestly believe they'll win her.
Okay, thanks very much for joining us, Bob. Back up to you, Rick.
Thanks, Steve. What a great play here by the shortstop, Steve Carrion, Bob.
Oh, look at this. Just gets him at first base. I don't know if the New Zealander was legging it out just as had. I think he thought he was there at first. But certainly Carrion made this superb defensive play in terms of going into the hole and then making the hard throw to first base.
A lesson for the youngsters watching, don't give up until you're there. Always go hard to first. You never know what's going to happen.
Good lesson on the defense. He planted his foot and made a good hard throw from that. Instead of throwing off balance, he planted and took the time to stop and make the throw and make it accurately.
A lesson for the runner, too. Don't give up.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely. I think I'd have to see it again, but it seemed to me as I was watching it here, he just kind of slowly logged it down. Then suddenly realized he had to turn on the afterburners, and he didn't get there.
1 out. Here's Dave Wall, the batter. Bunt. Looks good. Gets it to Meredith. Down to first for the out. Meredith picked it up, made a nice throw to Beard. 2 away.
We go to the top of the order in the second baseman.
We'll see the replay here, the bunt again. Just a little bit too far out. And Meredith makes the easy play to first base. Close, but an easy defensive play for the pitcher.
Eddie Kalesi lines one to right. What a great shoestring catch by Mitch Monthly. 3 up, 3 down. So the United States continues to lead this contest 2-0 on 4 hits. New Zealand just 2 hits in the contest. And now we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. What a setback for the United States, though. They could be up 4-0. Boyer leading off first base on that home run by
Mitch Monthly, who's the on-deck batter. And we see a change as we see Sorensen go out to the mound to talk to the new New Zealand pitcher.
The United States in the bottom of the third inning, the right fielder.
Graham Robertson now pitching. And Mike Walsh certainly saw had some reasons to make the change with Munty coming up and hitting that first pitch right over our truck, our center field camera, the truck in which our camera is located.
Truck has to be 60 or 70 feet back of the fence.
That's right. And Munty gets another chance. He's back up because the leadoff happened. You call the runner out, and of course, as it occurred, the hit didn't count.
This one inside on Munty. Ball 1. So a new pitcher, Graham Robertson, in. Robertson's the pitcher that beat Team Canada earlier today.
Jackson gave up 5 hits in his couple innings of work, 1 walk, no strikeouts, and of course the home run to Steve Zediker.
Little low. Ball 2. 2-1 the count, none out. Mitch Muncy at the plate. There's another guy you got to look at as an MVP. Muncy.
Absolutely, too. There are so many on that American team. You've got to find somebody, though, in the final round that's really contributed. And we're getting down to people like him. And Boyer, I like your thought about Boyer. I think there's a man that doesn't get a lot of recognition because he's always the rabbit on the base. He gets there, but the other guys, of course, are driving him home. But he's doing a lot for that team.
Standout of this tournament, though, I still say has been Sorensen. Muncy, hard hit ball to center field. Nichols up with it. He'll get it into second base. Muncy on first with a leadoff single.
He must have heard you. He says, "Pick me," Muncy says. And look at this. He gets a low pitch here. Comes up a little bit low rise ball right around his belt. And drives it hard to center field for a single.
Left fielder Jim Clark.
You see Muncy down at first, and the batter now is Jim Clark.
Robertson would like that pitch back, I would think. That came up much too good. Started it low, but rose into Muncy's power zone.
Not out. Clark bunting. It's foul, though. Just foul.
And the Americans handle the low balls a lot better than some of the other teams, partly because many of them have played baseball before, and they're more used to that, whereas the rise ball is not a pitch they would ever see in a baseball game or a baseball being balls that move, that curve or just hop slightly if it's a hard rise ball, a hard fastball, excuse me.
We'll have to see if Clark's bunting here again with 1 strike, none out. Here's Graham's delivery. Fouls it off. Tried to lay it down. Oh, and 2 the count. Muncy checking the signs down at third. Clark steps into the box. Set for this Robertson pitch. Here it is. Inside, ball 1. Shot down to first to go and get the force at second. Nice play by Murray Maclean, getting the force out at second. A lot of first basemen might have just picked it up and stepped on first, but not Maclean. Turned around and got the force, Bob. Good play.
Let's look at it again here. Nice drop ball by Robertson, and it was sharply hit, though, by Clark. Hit the low ball very well, but Maclean picked it up, bobbled it slightly, but still had time with a good hard throw to get the runner. That's an excellent defensive play to get that force out at second base.
Brian Rothrock, the batter. He'll foul this one off. So 1 away in the bottom of the third. The United States leads it 2-0. Good rise ball there by Robertson. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That's outside. Count goes to 1-2. Umpire calls time. Ball on the field, or paper on the field. Out there and right. That was the ball. Two and two, the count, 1 out here. Bottom of the third inning, the United States in control, leading 2-0. Rothrock swung at that one. Foul ball, though. Just got a piece of it.
Rothrock hasn't been as hot at the bat as he was earlier in the round-robin competition, but still a very dangerous hitter. I think what's been happening is they've been pitching around him, walking him intentionally, keeping the ball away from him a lot.
Two nothing. United States on top. Graham Robertson in to pitch for Steve Jackson. Here's the delivery outside. 2-2 the count now.
Robertson's pitched 28 innings so far in the championship, giving up 9 hits, 2 walks, 48 strikeouts in the 28 innings, and 1 earned run, so a .25 ERA. Pitches with the Seattle Pay and Pack team during, of course, the New Zealand offseason. In fact, led them to the American National Championship last year.
He's a good pitcher. Probably tired right now, though. He pitched last night against Team Canada, pitched this morning against Team Canada. And now he's into this contest in the third inning. Like you said, softball pitchers can pitch a lot, but it's got to catch up to you.
Oh, that's right, and that's why we always see a lot more offense in the final day of any championship. The pitchers are tired, and the hitting starts to take over, and we've seen that here today, although earlier the Tangaroa held the Americans only to 2 hits.
Another foul ball. Count remains 3-2. 1 out.
Robertson held the Canadians to 4 hits only in his victory early today.
Ground ball, base hit. Out to right. Rothrock's on first. And down to third base, we see Jim Clark.
You see Rothrock foul off and foul off pitches. Finally, he gets a low pitch and he hits it hard into the ground, and you get a lot of hits off that. It's a hard infield, and they'll bounce pretty hard. This one got through between first and second. Here we see Clark going without stopping right to third.
So with 1 out, the United States, once again, a man in scoring position. Bruce Beard will be the batter for the United States now. We're in the bottom of the third, 2-0. U.S. on top. Graham Robertson really taking his time on the mound. Here's the pitch, down to first. Check the runner at third. Get him at first. Good heads-up play by Maclean.
He plays a very smart, very cool kind of first base for that team, the New Zealand team. He's watching third base all the way after he makes the pickup. Keeps his eye on the runner, Clark. And, of course, he knows all he has to do is make the tag. In fact, if Beard runs out of the baseline, he's out anyway. So good play by Maclean at first base.
So 2 out here now, and Steve Carrion comes to bat. Flied out his last time at bat. High pitch by Robertson, just about got away from Sorensen. Ball 1.
The U.S. is going to want to cash in a couple of these runners soon. They're leaving a number of runners on base. You got a high rise ball. Really snapped it.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Inside on Carrion. Count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. See Rothrock at second base.
Carrion's also with the Decatur Pride team. He's a first-team All-American in 1986 and 1987.
This one gets through the first baseman this time, Maclean. 2 runs will score. Oh, and here's a ball that's thrown away in the infield as Carrion went down to second. But the base hit by Carrion through Maclean will score 2 runs. United States goes on top 4-0.
We'll see Carrion take that pitch just slightly behind it, but it was hit very sharply. And Murray Maclean, we talked so positively about him before, and he just had trouble coming with it. It was a very sharply hit ball. Being a left-handed first baseman, of course, you always have a little more trouble on your left-hand side to feel it. That's where it went, between him and the first base line. And the Americans have got 2 runs and now are in command with a 4-0 lead. Rick?
2 RBIs for Steve Carrion. He's at second base. We see him there, number 6. As he drove in Clark and Rothrock. The hard hit ball through first and out to right field. As Bob mentioned, 4-0 the score now. Bottom of the third. That one's inside to the catcher, Steve Zedeker. 1-0. Zedeker, fly ball to left. Dave Wall under it. He has it, out number 3. Welcome back to Bob Van Dam Field. Rick Borgon along with Bob Rempel, and you're watching the ISF Men's World Softball Championship, the final game between Team USA and Team New Zealand. USA in command of this contest, leading 4-0. New Zealand won the opener of this AB final 4-2 to force this sudden death playoff. But the United States has taken control early and lead it by 4 runs. Meredith now pitching to Kerry Johansson, the shortstop. Swing and a miss, strike one. The count goes to 1-1.
Johansson chased a bad pitch there. Low and not hittable at all, but
let that one go by for call strike. 1-2. This is the top of the fourth inning. Fouled away. And if New Zealand wants to get back in this contest, they better start doing something quickly, Bob.
Johansson's got to get on base. Certainly they've got Sorensen following right behind him. But they've got to make a charge here right quick, or it's going to fall away, or it's going to be out of their grasp in a hurry.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That goes high. 2-2 the count. This one's fouled back. It's a chance for a play. Yeah, third baseman Jeff Moore, close to the screen, makes the grab out, number one.
Well, that ball came back into the field with the wind.
The catcher.
It'd like to be like middle of the stands when it first went out. But by not taking his eye off it, Boer got the first out, and very important.
Yeah, that wind brought it right back in.
A lot of less experienced players would have given up on it, and it would have dropped in there.
The batter, Mark Sorensen. Fouls the first pitch off, 0-1. The 0-1 delivery here. Sorensen bangs one down to third. Borer up with it. Over to first to Beard. 2 down.
We'll see Sorensen, who keeps his eye on it well, but just slightly on top of that ball, and of course hard hit, but right at Borer. So Sorensen's streak of hits stopped here, at least for the time being.
Mike Nichols' turn now to face Peter Meredith on the mound for Team USA. We get a good close-up look at him there now. This goes to the rosin bag. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hard shot to short. Carrion with it. Over to first. It was off the bag, but Beard made a nice play.
Nice play all around.
In tagging Nichols. And it's 3 up, 3 down. United States leads it by a score of 4-0. You're watching the ISF World Softball Championship on the Can West Softball Network. USA's turned to bat again. We're in the bottom of the fourth. It's Rick Minton, the second baseman. That pitch is outside for ball one. Graham Robertson, the pitcher for New Zealand, in for Steve Jackson. Robertson has pitched a lot of ball the past couple of days. Changed speeds there a bit. Strike one.
Well, the effect that Coach Mike Walsh would have liked to have seen with putting Robertson in didn't seem to happen. A number of hits, 3 hits last inning against Robertson. We'll see if he can stop him now.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Missed that one. 2-2. This one fouled out of play.
Well, this game's certainly moving along a lot quicker than the first one, isn't it, Rick?
Yeah, that first one sure dragged on.
I know back home in Regina, my daughter Jessica is wondering if she's going to see her daddy tonight or not. You never know. We could be here.
There's a strikeout. Well, the winning team will receive the tournament trophy from Bonanza Restaurants. MVP presented by Husky Oil. And there's the Bonanza balloon out in right field.
You couldn't do these things, couldn't put them on without the corporate sponsors, and it's important that certainly they get recognition for it, and I know the people here appreciate that very much, their efforts to help out a major championship like this in Canada, the first time ever.
The batter now for the USA is the third baseman, Jeff Bohr. Count goes to 2-1. Inning number 4, 4-0. USA on top. A bouncer to second. In time to first, though, as Kalesi gets it to Maclean. 2 down. At the plate now for Team USA is Bill Boyer.
He's one of our MVP
candidates,
I guess. Selections.
Has a funny style in the batter's box, Bob. You might want to comment on that. The way he has a little jiggle and a wiggle. And
he's always
moving
around. It's just habitual, I think. It's a habit that he gets into. It doesn't have any real effect, I think, on his hitting. At least it wouldn't appear to me that it should, but certainly what you have to do in hitting is make sure that your weight's on your back foot just before you swing, and it all gets transferred forward. And he's just making sure that he's ready, and probably it helps him.
He doesn't do it all the time. Sometimes he does a little twist, and sometimes he doesn't.
You sometimes do that to make sure that your muscles aren't too tense. You want to be relaxed in the batter's box.
Count on Boyer is 0-2. 2 out. Bottom of the 4th.
What he did there, he just choked up slightly on the bat, and good defensive move when you got 2 strikes against you.
Outside, ball 1.
He also steps back or stands very far back in the batter's box, but will on occasion run up and hit the ball while moving up forward. Just to take away, before the ball breaks, to hit the ball in.
A pitch high and inside, but he went for it and fouls it off. 1-2 the count. 2 down.
He's 6 foot 175 pounds, and as we said before, one of those 5 pay and pack team members, Seattle Pay and Pack, and he's one of those. Last year he had 351, driving in 57 runs, getting 105 hits.
Check swing foul. The word from downstairs in the radar gun is that Graham Robertson is throwing around 75 miles per hour. He's up a little bit from when he came into the contest, pitching around 70 miles an hour when he first came in. His fastball now clocked at 75. There's a changeup. Boyer's bat goes for a ride down the first base line. 3 out.
Welcome all our viewers back on the Can West Network. As we see Boyer's bat go right down the first base line, and of course we didn't see it, but Coach Gail Kurtz had to move out in a hurry as he had a missile or a projectile coming right at him. Of course, he is being in a little bit of a good mood. That kind of stuff doesn't bother them. We see Murray Maclean, the New Zealand first baseman leading off in the 5th inning here for the New Zealand team. And Monty's under the ball. Maclean takes an outside pitch and flies out to Monty for an easy out for the U.S. team. You see Maclean get a pitch that he could have driven a little behind it, and that's a reflection of Meredith's speed. And Monty camps under it, moves back just a little as, of course, the wind is aiding it, and makes the easy out. 1 out now for the U.S. team. And the sun is coming out periodically and in greater strength. The clouds moving in and out. And of course, we saw Minton put on some sunglasses now. And the batter is Jimmy Hall. Jimmy grounded out in his first at bat in this game. They really got to get something going. Somebody's got to do something for the team. And they can't wait for the next fellow. I'm sure they were talking that way amongst themselves on the bench.
Top of the 5th inning, 4-0. U.S. on top. Count goes to 2-2. Fly ball to center. Bill Boyer with the catch. 2 down.
We'll see Hall get a pitch a little inside, and but he drove it pretty hard. But Boyer, no problem at all making the catch. Close to the warning track in right center.
Batter now is Fred Wyatt. We're in the 5th time running out for the New Zealanders, that's for sure. 4-0 ball game, U.S. on top.
There's time running out on my body here too, Rick. I've been here since 8:45 this morning, our time, and woke up early in the morning. One of those games, just like the athletes, you know, you're ready and to work.
Next up, the right fielder, Fred Wyatt.
A lot of credit has to go to the crew as well. They've been here doing games for New Zealand since 11 o'clock this morning.
We shouldn't complain. These players have been out here, New Zealand, for 4 games now, so we've got the luxurious position compared to them.
Sheltered from the wind, all the elements.
And we hope our viewers are enjoying the telecast of this championship softball. First time this championship has been held in Canada. Next year in Prince Edward Island, Summerside, Prince Edward Island, June 23rd to early July. I know they're having the World Youth, the youth men's 19 and under. So they're expecting, maybe 14, 20 countries. They're not sure at this stage yet. So it'll be a great chance for softball people to get out to Prince Edward Island and watch some great youth softball.
Another one fouled off by Wyatt. Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nothing has bothered Peter Meredith on the mound for Team USA this afternoon. He's been in control from the start right through inning number 5 here.
A couple hits in the first inning, but beyond that, he's had the Kiwis, his countrymates. You know, it's an interesting story, but he's had them handcuffed all the way.
Second baseman, Rick Minton, 3 out. New Zealand against Team USA, and USA in control of this contest. In the bottom of the 5th, they'll be coming to bat, leading it 4-0.
Heather Ryder.
There's a look at Graham Robertson on the mound for New Zealand.
Heather Ryder.
Mitch Munthey, the batter.
This is the right fielder, Mitch Munthey.
The fellow that had the home run taken away from him earlier in the contest, and what a home run it was, had it counted. 60, 70 feet over that center field fence.
Oh, just a tremendous shot. Of course, he had 2 hits already this game. As we say, another contender for the MVP honors.
Close one inside. That brushes Munthey back.
They were batting him 6th earlier, and with all the hits he's been getting, he's been very hot. They moved up to 2nd. Robertson giving him back from the plate, getting him in tight, and again, we'll look for him to throw outside now.
Right you are. Strike 1. 2-1 the count. Inside, and the count goes to 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Munthey goes down to first.
As we look at Munthey, you just mentioned he's a Northern California Player of the Year last year, batted .375. In 1982, we talked about the baseball influence. He was a All-American in the NCAA Division III College World Series. So a lot of these players begin their ball careers as baseball players and then transfer over.
Left fielder Jim Clark at the plate now. That Robertson pitch outside for ball 1. We have none out. Mitch Munthey at first. Munthey checking the signs over at third. With a 4-0 lead, I don't think we'll see a bunt. Good rise ball, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Munthey's a good base runner, and we may see something here. Wagner wants to keep the pressure on offensively, and a couple more would be enough to ensure him the victory, I believe.
It's a foul ball, and the count goes to 2-2. Ground ball to short. Double play.
Nice double play.
Nice play by the shortstop. Kerry Johansson.
This is one of the easiest ways to make a double play in softball. Clark gets that ball down on the ground. He hits it hard, but goes right at Johansson, and all he does is just run over to second, make the tag on the base, and throw up. Good play, got them out of trouble. Some smiles on those U.S. players. They believe they're in control, and of course they are. The score has them at the top, 4-0 at this stage.
2 out with Rothrock at the plate. Normally the club's left fielder, the DH in this contest after hurting his elbow. The opening game of this AB final. Here's Robertson's 2-0 pitch. In there for called strike one.
Rothrock had a hit his last time at bat. If you see Robertson limping a little bit, or apparently limping out on the mound, it's nothing to do with an injury. He was born with one leg shorter, just an inch or so shorter than the other, apparently. So he's certainly overcome that without any difficulty at all. He's a world-class pitcher.
Here's a base hit for Rothrock. He's on at first with 2 out. The batter will be the first baseman, Bruce Beard.
The first baseman, Bruce
Robertson had to come
Beard.
in here now. He was down in the count, and he gave Rothrock something he could handle just on the top of the strike zone. Normally, as we've said all the time earlier and many times before, that you want to get the rise ball a little higher than that, and it came into Rothrock's power zone, and he drove it between the first and second baseman.
It's a good look at Bruce Beard. Beard with a fly ball is going to be in there, single to center. Rothrock down at third now, and Beard on at first.
That brings to the plate the shortstop, Steve Carrigan.
See Beard take an inside pitch on the thin part of the bat, and it just found green, as the players like to call it. And of course, there's no way anybody can get to it. It's just out beyond the shortstop in center field.
So 2 on with 2 out. The batter is the shortstop, Steve Carrion. Robertson delivers inside, ball 1. That one fouled back and out of play.
Again, if you return those foul balls down to the first base dugout, you get a new one in return.
Count is 1-1. 4-0. The United States leads it. The winner takes home the gold, the loser the silver. Drop ball too low though. 2-1.
In 2 runs. The single his last at bat. Rothrock and
Clark.
That's right. Checking my scorebook.
This one's fouled out of play down the right field line. That was close to hitting him.
He's having some control problems, Rick. Balls all over the place. Outside, inside, high and low.
Well, Robertson's pitched a lot of ball, as we've mentioned, over the past 24 hours.
And it's especially tough. They've been here a full 10 days, and although they don't play, they play 2 games every day, and most of the pitchers got some action every day here.
Chopper to second. Kalesi to first. There's the 3rd out. So the United States continues to lead this ball game 4-0. We're going to the top of the 6th inning.
That's why you call for the blue. Hey, hey.
Welcome back. Bob Van Field in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Rick Borgon with Bob Rempel. We're watching the United States against New Zealand in the gold medal game of the ISF World Men's Softball Championship. The United States leading it 4-0. They've dominated from start to finish in this game. The crowd's got the wave going here at the ballpark. Hey, they're still into it.
They want more action. I'm sure the New Zealanders want that action to happen for them right now.
Batters Thomas Perinera. Count is 1-1 on Perinera. Rise ball for strike 2. There's a fellow here that comes to the park quite a bit, plays for the Bermuda squad, and there he is right there, Dennis Robertson. He's the cheerleader at this ISF Fastball Championship. He's out here every day, getting everyone doing the wave and cheering. His ball team didn't have very much luck, but
well, maybe that's what we needed for the Canadians. We should have got the chicken or Crazy George or somebody out here to get the fans fired up behind them.
Crazy Lloyd Lewis, our producer, someone out here.
That brings to the plate the left fielder, Dave Wall.
Let's watch Meredith come inside. Nice piece of the corner.
So 1 out. Dave Wall, the batter. Strike 1 to him. Right down the pipe.
A couple of these pitches are not in the ideal locations, but Meredith throws hard enough that he can get away with it sometimes, and that's...
Shot to second, Minton with it. Over to first to Beard, 2 away.
To the top of the order for second baseman, Eddie Kalassi.
All 4 games today, Bob's got to take a lot out of you.
And it's starting to show now. Of course, there are only 2 innings left if it ends in regulation time. And unless somebody gets up and cracks a hard single, double, something, they're not going to come back in this game, Rick. It looks right now that the gold medal team is going to be the United States, led by Peter Meredith. Really, he's been their ace, and a couple players like Mitch Muncy, Brian Rothrock, Bill Boyer, and really the whole team has been very, very solid throughout the championship. And an excellent field manager, head coach Tom Wagner, a man that I've respected greatly. He's still actively involved, and he's won more championships for his team, the Seattle team, than most of us have ever been in or had a chance to win. And
count on Kalesi, 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's 2 out here. Top of the 6th inning, 4-0. United States leading it.
Our records show that Tom Wagner has participated in 22 American national tournaments as a coach or player, and he has 5 titles to his credit, 5 wins as a manager, 5 more as a player. So we're talking about a man with a wealth of experience and knowledge. 9 years, Wagner's winning percentage is 8.827. 815 games won and 170 lost. So.
Incredible. This one sharply fouled down the first base line. So the count remains at 1-2, 2 out. So this game will bring an end to the ISF World Men's Softball Championship 1988. Great job by the Saskatoon committee putting on a fine show here over the last 10 days. I'm sure everyone that's taken it in has enjoyed it immensely. From the visiting media to the visiting fans, players. Third out of the inning there. There's a look at some of the New Zealanders on hand for this afternoon's ball game, but their team down now by a score of 4-0. Bottom of the 6th inning we're in. And this will likely be the Americans' last turn at bat.
I think we've got Michael White in the game now, Rick.
Pitching for New Zealand.
The third pitcher now for the New Zealanders this game.
So White in for Robertson.
Combined totals for Jackson and Robertson, they had 9 hits for the United States. They had 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and of course the home run to Zedeker, key blow earlier in the game.
And Zedeker the batter now. Slow curve in there for strike 1. Here's a pop-up. Shortstop Johansson has it. 1 down.
See Zedeker
the second baseman, Rick
just
Minton.
under it slightly again, and a high fly ball, the infield fly that Johansson gets. Well, he has to carry it, carries further, and he falls it all the way in. Good defensive player, Johansson is.
Swing and a miss, strike 1 on second baseman Rick Minton. One down here, bottom of the 6th. Sharp hit ball to third. 2 away. Dave Workman playing third base now. There's a look at the next batter.
The plate for the United States, number 24, Bob Michelson for Jeff Boyer.
Bob Michelson, the batter now. Hitting for Boyer, is he?
Jeff Boyer was only batting .090 for the tournament, and there's again in for his defensive abilities at third base. So Michelson comes in and
I thought they said
250 batter.
I thought he said he's hitting for Boyer. No, he's hitting for Boyer. This one popped up too. Johansson's under this one. He's called off though by the second baseman, Eddie Kalesi. That's 3 up, 3 down. Last chance for New Zealand as they trail in the ball game 4-0, top of the 7th inning. Been a long afternoon, right?
Well, we're all allowed a couple little mistakes.
Here's Tricker with a base hit up the middle to keep New Zealand alive here in the top of the 7th inning. He's on first. Base hit.
Well, he did what he's supposed to do. They've got to have somebody get on base, and he took a pitch just above the knees. Nicely threw the ball. And we've got a leadoff batter on for New Zealand.
Over at first base.
Kerry Johansson, the pinch runner. Mark Sorensen, the batter. Here's a fella that can change the complexion of the game at any time. Although New Zealand trails by 4, got a long way to go. This is the guy you want up at the plate, I'll tell you. Fouled back and out of play.
Well, it may be this turn at bat may decide whether he's going to be an MVP of this championship or not. It's always hard for the people who make these selections to go with somebody from the losing team, in fact. But although it's by no means over, if Sorensen does something here, who knows? The New Zealanders could come back.
Still, it's the most valuable player to your team in the tournament, and you know, without Sorensen.
Oh, you're right, Rick.
New Zealand wouldn't be in this championship final.
He led them all day with home runs and other extra base hits.
Another one that's fouled back out of play. 0-2 the count, so Pete Meredith is ahead of Sorensen, right where he wants to be right now.
We know in Canada we have to do a much better job of developing our players early, starting to work with them, using our national coaches and players when they're 12, 13 years old, not wait until they're 17 or 18. And that's something we're about to begin.
Another foul ball off Sorensen's foot.
Let's see what happens here as he chops down on the ball and right off his front foot. And he
says, ow.
Well, I didn't read his lips that way, but it hurt as he's limping around there.
Kiwi fans trying to get things going here as they bang their feet and clap their hands. Win or lose, they're behind this club. Another foul ball out of play. It's going to be a good rule change, the fact that you only the 1 year spending in another country and being able to play.
Well, I'm sure there's many who might consider this victory a little tainted in that respect, that they were able to bring in 2 New Zealand pitchers, New Zealand natives, and win the championship. Certainly Meredith was a great part of that, although their offensive strength, without that they wouldn't have won, I'm sure, but the two go together.
That pitch was outside. The count goes to 1-2 now. None out. Runner at first. New Zealand trails at 4-0. This is their last chance. Here's a ground ball to second. One away. As Minton throws it to Beard for the out. Johansson goes down to second.
We'll see him get an outside pitch. He did get around that. A little bit tired, I think, by now, Mark is in Sorensen, and he didn't get around quickly enough on that with his bat.
So there's Kerry Johansson at second. One down.
The center fielder.
And the batter, Mike Nichols. Little pop-up right near the American dugout, but first baseman Bruce Beard couldn't get at it. Meredith's pitch, this one ground to second. Minton up with it over to Beard, 2 down. One more out. And the United States will take home the gold medal from the 1988 ISF World Men's Softball Championship.
They've been behind Meredith all game, and a couple were in for hits. But here again, right-handed batter hitting it to the second baseman, and Minton has the easy play at first. So we've got the final, potential final out coming up now for New Zealand. They've only lost 2 games the whole championship, 3-1 to Japan and 2-1 this morning against the United States team. So this may be their 3rd loss, but close contest all the way, and they beat the United States earlier. In fact, they beat them 2 games, 4-2, and then in the round robin they beat them 6-4.
Nothing to be ashamed of. Fly ball to right. The game is over. The United States have won the gold medal, taking it away from the defending champs, New Zealand. We'll see the celebration there on the mound as everyone gathers around Peter Meredith, the winning pitcher of this afternoon's championship game.